What's up, guys? My name is Jerry, and today's video is going to be on the Orlando Magic, and we're going to be talking about how their new front court is looking dangerous, and we're going to jump right into the video. Now, the Orlando Magic's offseason got off to a great start. They hit the NBA draft lottery for the #1 pick in the NBA draft, and they decided to go with Paulo Banquero, which left a lot of people scratching their heads, but I believe this was the right decision by the Orlando Magic. They're getting something that they desperately need in Paulo Banquero, a new offensive engine, and then they're also giving themselves the opportunity to create one of the better front courts in the NBA. And that front court would consist of Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter, and Paulo Banquero. And I think it would all start with Paulo Banquero because he's so dynamic on the offensive side of the ball, and he's going to allow the Orlando Magic to be so versatile. And we look at him so far in the Summer League. He played 2 games, and he played so well that the Orlando Magic feel like they don't need to see anything else from him. But in those 2 games, he put up 20 points per night to go along with 6 assists and 5 rebounds, and he was also getting it done on the defensive side of the ball as he averaged 2.5 steals to go along with a block. So his stat line was pretty impressive, and he dominated the Summer League. Now, when I look at him and how he would fit in with the Orlando Magic's actual roster, I think he's going to fit in perfectly, and I can't lie, I'm very intrigued by this front court. And the first thing that I notice is the tremendous size that they have. Franz Wagner stands at 6'10", Wendell Carter stands at 6'10", and Paulo Banquero stands at 6'10". And when I think about it, I think the point of emphasis for these 3 guys are going to be mismatches, and this brings me back to Paulo Banquero. And this is why I think he's going to take the Orlando Magic's offense to a new level, because he is such a dynamic scorer, and he's dangerous from every area of the court. And for example, we look at today's NBA. Most of the time, defenses are going to have one quote-unquote big man out on the court, and they're going to either have to guard Wendell Carter or Paulo Banquero. And 9 times out of 10, I think the big is going to stick with Wendell Carter, which is going to leave a smaller guy on Paulo Banquero. And me personally, I think the best part of his game is when he's in the post. He can do every post move. He's very dominant, and then he's also very smooth and patient down there. So if he gets a smaller guy on him in the post, it's going to be barbecue chicken. And then let's just say if a defense decides to make a switch, Wendell Carter then has the smaller guy on him, and then Paulo Banquero will have a big out on him, but then he gets another mismatch because he can put the ball on the floor, he can break defenders down, he can get to his spots, and then he can get to the rim. And then Paulo Banquero, I think he has the potential to be an elite 3-level scorer. He's shown the ability to knock down the 3 ball in college, and then he also showed the ability to shoot off the catch and shoot off the dribble in the Summer League. So he's there as a 3-level scorer with the ball in his hands, and then he's also a great playmaker, and I've seen him make the correct reads in so many different offensive situations. We look at him in the pick and roll, he's shown that he can make plays. In transition, he knows how to make the right reads, and then also out of the post, which I think is so important because he's going to spend a lot of time there, but he actually sees the court very well out of the post. So he's a very great playmaker. And then also Paulo Banquero is going to have the ability to play off the ball, and that's going to be very important with the guards that the Orlando Magic have, because they do have some guys that can create for themselves and create for others. So sometimes they might want to use Paulo Banquero as the screen setter, and he's great at rolling to the rim, and he'll have a guy running the pick and roll that's a scoring threat, and Cole Anthony. So that'll be very interesting to see. And Paulo Banquero is skilled enough to be able to catch that ball and do a bunch of different things with it. So Paulo Banquero, he's going to be able to take the Orlando's Magic's offense to the next level. Now we look at the other 2 guys in this front court, starting with Franz Wagner, who up until today, I did not know he was 6'10". For some reason, I thought he was around 6'8" or 6'9", but him being 6'10" makes him a lot better to me. But he's coming off a rookie season where he showed the ability to score the basketball. He averaged 15 points per game, and even though it was his rookie season, there were times where he did not look like a rookie at all. His game is very fundamental. He looked like a mature basketball basketball player, and he seemed poised at all times. And when we look at his offensive game, I think I can deem him a 3-level scorer. And I think the best part of his offensive game is his ability to get to the rim. He was great at cutting, slashing with the basketball in his hands. He could finish through contact, whether it was dunking or laying the ball up. And then he has the ability to finish with both hands. And then his offensive game did not stop there. He could shoot the mid-range off the dribble or off the catch. And then it was the same thing with the 3-ball. When I look at him with playing alongside Paulo Banquero, I think they're going to like playing with each other. I think he's going to get a lot of more open looks, whether it's cutting or spotting up, running the floor in transition. Is going to be very fun to watch. And I feel like it's vice versa. Franz Wagner is going to be able to set up Paulo Banquero at some times and get some open shots for him. And I see these two guys playing well off of each other. We look at the last member of this front court, which is going to be Wendell Carter Jr. I think he's going to play a very important role for the Orlando Magic going forward. And the first thing I want to do is look at the season he had last year with the Orlando Magic. And first thing first, I want to say that I think he had a very underrated season. He averaged 15 points per game to go along with 10 rebounds while shooting 52% from the field. And then also in the second half of the season, he played really well. He averaged 17 points to go along with 11 rebounds. And then he also showcased a new part of his game, and that's the ability to knock down the 3-point shot. And I think that's why his role with the Magic is going to be so important next season. But last year he knocked down 73s, which is more combined than all the seasons he played before joining the Orlando Magic. So this is something new from Wendell Carter. But if he can be a consistent threat from the 3-point line, it's going to make the Orlando Magic very dangerous. And this is why I brought up those mismatches, because I believe Paulo Banquero, he's the most dangerous when he's playing down in the post. So 9 times out of 10, when you want a guy operating in the post, you want him to be the only guy inside the 3-point line, and you want to have everybody else outside of the 3-point line. So for that to happen, Wendell Carter has to be able to knock down his threes, and based off what we seen last season, he's going to have the ability to do that. And when Paulo Banquero is down there going to work on the post, it's just going to make a lot of teams have to pick their poison. Do they want that? Do they want to let the smaller guy who's guarding Paulo in the post, do they want him to just get beat up down there, or do they want to start double teaming and letting Paulo Banquero be a playmaker for 4 guys on the perimeter that can knock down a 3-point shot? And then also when they make that switch and pin the bigger guy on Banquero, Wendell Carter, his game is so much more than just being a spot-up 3-point shooter. He has the ability to play so great in the post. He has a bunch of post moves, from the post spin, the post hook, the drop step. He can do it all out of the post. And then he can also step out and knock down a mid-range shot. And then he serves as a great screener in pick and roll situations. So when I look at this Orlando Magic front court, I think they're going to be so explosive on the offensive side of the ball. They have great length. They're very versatile. And then they can score the basketball. So I think they're going to cause a lot of problems in the NBA. And they have a solid backcourt backing them up as well. There's a lot of great guards on the Orlando Magic with some great upside, like Cole Anthony, who's a 3-level scorer. Once his shot selection and he becomes more consistent, he's going to be a much better player in the NBA. And then I also like what I saw from Markelle Fultz last season, being a lot more aggressive, getting to the rim, and that led to his teammates being wide open. And then I think Jalen Suggs is also filled with potential. But that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like, comment down below what you think, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man, and that's curtains.